Right, here we go, diving straight in. We've got a BG combo. But before we dive in, I just want to show you something I changed since the last video. We're going to go to input-output settings. I've made this change to both the sub out and the main out. I went through, I was setting up these patches and I was taking out 6.3 hertz, kilohertz, on every patch. So I thought, you know what, for the purpose of these sessions, I'm just going to take it out at the master here on the way out on both the sub out and the main out. I've left the level at 0 because to turn the level up even by 1 dB there just gives it too much of a boost, and I don't want to do that. And I've done that on both the subs and the main out. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dive straight into this patch. I'm going to very quickly show you. I'm just going to play you what I've got. So we've got the BG combo amp, and I've got it set up on an AB. So we come in, we hit a compressor here. There's my compressor settings. There's page 2. And we hit a divide here. Now the divide's not engaged at the moment. It's going to be wet dry, but I want to do something to it in a second. And there's my amp. And there's my amp settings. This isn't a deep dive into the amp. What I want to do is make this more dynamic. I want to make it sound better. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I've done that to all the other patches. I'm just filming this one for the moment. So this is my low gain. If I scroll across the page here, you'll see at the end there we're in the low gain. That's the settings I've got at the moment. Now what I do want to do, I just want to change a couple of things here. So we're going to go, first of all, we're going to go to the speaker cab. Now we're going to go into speakers and mics when I do the deep dive into the amps. But for the purpose of this video, all you need to know is I'm going to split the stereo link here. I want to put 2 mics on this. I want to make it more interesting. I'm using the 212s. I prefer that. I find there's less high-end energy to manage. So I'm going to change that condenser mic there to the dynamic 57. And I'm going to put it back to 2 centimeters into the cone. So that's 2 centimeters away from the center. And I'm going to make my second mic the same as it is at the moment, which is the condenser 87, and I'm keeping it short. I'm keeping it in the middle. I want it a bit brighter, but it picks up more lows. So and what I've done in my EQ is I've got a high cut to 8 and 125. That already sounds better. I'm getting the 2 microphone signals coming through there up the middle. Now what I want to do is I want to be able to make this patch not just wet dry but also stereo. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to swap the channel here. So we're going to dive into the wet channel now. So I'm going to come along here. I'm going to turn off the EQ because I'm going to do a quick gain stage, because I'm going to redo this. I'm going to reset these in a minute. But first I just want to change that from original, put it on to 12s, and I'm going to use the dynamic 421 mic on that. I'm going to turn that back. I know I'm going to use that. I've tested it. Now what I want to do here is I want to turn my reverb on and off with my switch, and I've got it assigned to do something else at the moment, but I'm just going to change it on this patch, and I just want to check what I'm doing. So there we go, reverb effect level. I'm going to change that to reverb on off. What I've done is I've gone into the assigns. I didn't talk you through that properly very well at all. It's assigned to control 3 already because I originally had it just changing the level. And now when we go back here, when I hit my switch, the reverb will go off. Now I've already assigned an effect to the back of that. So let's see, what should we put on? Let's put vibrato. Yeah, let's give some modulation. Let's just pull that back a bit. And let's have all the direct mix coming through. Let's just slow down that rate. Let's have a look at the colour and up the depth. Okay, so now when I turn those off, I get left with just my amp. So I'm going to put a noise gate on that amp. Now then, I want to turn that gain up. So what we're going to do is going to go into, how I've got this assigned is when I change my AB, my assigns over here, I've scrolling through. It's a bit of a pickle because I've done it all on the fly. But I'm just going to turn up the gain of that to 50 because I know the boutique that just gives it a bit of crunch there. And I'm going to leave the, when it changes to high gain, on 50 because I don't want it to be too overpowering. And then I'm just going to come down here where I've got the levels, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to marry up my levels. So I'm going to flick back to here, I'm going to come back to my divide and put it back onto the A channel. I wonder if I've got too much highs in that, so I just want to have a quick look at that and just take some highs out of that now that I've done that. Now I've got that SM57 on there, there's quite a bit of highs. Let's just have a look at what I've got going on. Maybe it's the mid, just take that mid back a touch. Yeah, I'd say that's better. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to level to that. So what I've got, how I'm set up here, is we're now going to go to the beginning of my assigns, and there I've got the preamp 1 level, and we're going to marry it up here with what I'm going to do. To show you what's going on here. So I'm disengaged, this is disengaged, and when I press a button here, it engages it, and that's too loud, my boutique's too loud. So I'm just going to go into here and I'm going to adjust the level of this until I'm right. I'm going to do that for both the channels. Hang on. So that's it off. And that's it on. Off. I'm just going to put it back another. Yeah, that's a better level. Yeah, that's nice. That feels like stereo. So now let's go to the dirty channel. That's off. That's on, and I think what we can do there is we can just bump that a little bit. But I just want to, oh no, I've just done something really silly. Preamp 2 level, where were we? Just going to turn that back, check that. Oh, I wish I hadn't have done that then. Anyway, very quickly rectified it. Ooh. Put it back a bit more. Sorry, one of the follies of doing this in the dark. I can't quite see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's more or less where I want it, I think. Hang on, I'm just gonna come into here, check a couple of things. Let's get the EQ on. No, I want to pull that back one. And all I've done here is I've split the EQ in the divide. Let's turn that on. And here, I'm taking a little bit of lows out. I'm going to take a little bit of high off. That's one of the things I want to do. That's why that should be on 4 for the minute. Bump that back. And on each side, I've taken a bit out of the 500 hertz, and I'm cutting a sharp cut on 4K on this side, and on the other side, I'm just gonna come down to 3, open that up onto a wider cut, and just take 2 out. Just gonna disengage, just go back to the clean channel. I'm going to go here and just hang on, let's do it this way. Now I've got that channel isolated. So I'm just going to bump that because there's a visible drop in level, so that's going to 5. That's going to 5. That's better. They should sound more or less the same level, they're just cleaner in frequencies. I've got my high-low cut going on. Let's just open that up to 8. And that one to 10, so they're different. A little subtle differences you can build in there will help the stereo spread. What we're going to do now is engage the reverb. Engage the delay. Now what I want to do is I want to move this guy to here and make it that it's the divide. So I'm going to do another assign now. So I'm going to go into the assigns. I'm going to see what I've done. If I remember right, so I'm just going to come back out. So you've got the assigns and you've got the control functions. They're both assigns, okay? And here, yeah, I've got the master delay there assigned. So I just want to turn that off. So I'm just going to scroll that using the knob that's underneath it and turn it all the way back so it's off. And then I press the exit button, it takes me back to this page, and then I go into the assign settings, because in here, hang on, give me a moment, I just want to see if there's something here I can mutilate. Yeah, that reverb level, I'm going to take that off because I've done that further down. And I'm going to make this mixer 3. So I scroll through to where the mixers are. If I remember right, it's mixer 3 in its mode. Now here you can change, I could go to A to B and switch between the reverb and the delay, but I want it to put the delay on at the same time as the reverb. On control 2, it's assigned to control 2, brilliant. So now I just want to make sure, look at the screen, that it's done what I want it to do. Now here you'll see I've got my sub out separate to my mains. I run like this because of my bass, and I found it's quite nice because it allows me to put different microphones on this amplifier when I'm running dual amp rigs here. I can have 2 mics on there and a different set of 2 here, but I keep it just as the one, just to keep it simple, he says. But if you were running a rig like this, you just run both your main out and your sub out there, and you don't connect your sub out, so you wouldn't hear it. But for me, I connect my sub outs. See the previous video if you want to understand that. So now what should happen is I've got my divider 3. Oh, hang on. I put it on mixer, didn't I? I want mixer 3 mode. And engage the thing. You need these little square blocks here. I didn't engage it, so now I've engaged it. And you do that just by clicking the button underneath. When I hit my button, yay! Okay, so now we've got, if I come back here to there, and now I've got my A channel, which has got SM58 and a condenser 87 on it. It feels on its own like it wants more lows, but it's made for a mix. So if I was playing this on its own, I would put more lows into it, but it's going in with fat drums and bass. So what we're going to do is going to add the stereo now. Gone to the hot channel. Just on its own. There's my lovely stereo. Just going to put the reverb on. Go to the light channel. Turn the gain down on the guitar a bit. Actually, I think I want some highs to come through, so I'm just going to increase the highs there. I've pulled them down on the amp. I'm going to pull them through there. Yeah, that's sounding nice. Let's just put the delay on. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the wet. I'm just going to leave it like that, save it. And now I'm going to test run it with a beat and bass and stuff. Get ready, we're going to go off with a big bang. We're going to go on to hot channel. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can adjust the camera whilst we're on film. Reason I've done that is I can't edit videos at the moment. I can in the phone, but for some reason it doesn't like doing longer videos. So just so you can see the control buttons here, I'm going to turn the lights on. Okay, so now we can see things properly. I'll turn the lights off so you can see the screen better. So what's going on here is I'm on my clean channel. That's my B channel. That switches me to stereo. That puts the reverb on. That puts the delay on. That puts me back onto the clean channel. That is a compressor. And here, if I want to go completely wet, I do that combination there. But what we're going to do now is going to turn the compressor off. We're going to stay in stereo. And we're going to bring in some beats. Compressor. The delay. Knock the compressor off. Gonna go totally dry, stick on, actually no, we can leave that like that. Go with the compressor. Stereo. Right, hopefully that guitar sounds better than the last video, because we've given it a bit more dynamic now. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully you took something useful from it. I know every time I come to this unit and try an idea out, it works out really well. What I'm going to do is, I've done exactly that patch. Let's just scroll through here. Let's get to, let's get a Brit Stack out. Right, just rolled the gain off on the guitar. This is my Plexi. This is my stereo. This is my B channel. That's me on the neck pickup. Let's get this rolling. Now the delay. Listen to that, it's huge. When you make this change, so there's two microphones on that, it's the same patch. So engage the stereo channel. That's back pickup, full out, spank it. Okay, gonna leave that there. Catch you in a bit. Bye.